Chairman of the Council, Dr. John Onsat, Council members who will be introduced by the Chairman when he comes here, the Teacher Service Commission Secretary, Dr. Nancy Masharia, the Director, Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, Dr. Julius Joan, the Director, General State Department of Education, Mr. Elias Abdi, Directors from Ministry of Education, Regional Directors of Education, Regional Directors and Directors from Teacher Service Commission, our delegates from foreign examination boards in Africa, representatives from the education institutions, the principals, teacher union representatives, the media fraternity, staff from Kenya National Examination Council, all distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the Kenya National Examination Council fraternity, I wish to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to this very important activity, which marks the end of 2019 KCSE examination cycle. This is a culmination of a journey that began earlier this year in January with registration of candidates, test development, field administration,
Nigerian dishes in 2017. We'd love to apologize for that technical hitch that we experienced. I believe our team is working on it and we'll be giving you updates with that. At this point, let's take a short break, but don't worry, we'll be back with more.
Exciting world of M-Truck Solutions, your trusted provider for bulk SMSs. We also offer API integrations for all your communication and payment needs. We also provide you with tailor-made payment getaway solution to receive and disperse cash quickly, affordable and securely. Let us expand your reach and connectivity on USSD, SMS and voice today. Call us on 0723 030 030 or email hello@mtruck.limited.co.ke. For more details, visit our website www.mtrucklimited.co.ke.
Baada ya muda mrefu wa utafiti, Murugu Herbal Clinic wanakuletea suluhisho la shida ya nguvu za kiume iitwayo Libi Power. Libi Power imetengenezwa kwa miti ya kiasili. Licha kurejesha nguvu za kiume, Libi Power huondoa stress, kuchoma mafuta mwilini na kuondoa uchovu na haina madhara ya kando mwilini. Pia inaweza kutumiwa na mtu anayeugua kisukari na shinikizo la damu mwilini. Murugu Natural and Nutritional Clinic kwa tiba za kiasili zilizofanyiwa utafiti wa hali ya juu na kwa ufahamu zaidi.
Kwa maelezo zaidi, ungana na Peter Masharia Murugu na Fiona Kenga kila siku ya Jumanne, Alhamisi na Jumapili saa 4 usiku wakizungumzia afya yako.
Yes, kwa mara nyingine tena chota kuchota na Hetia Supermarket. Shindano bab kubwa limeanza ndani ya Hetia Supermarket. Utaweza kujishindia magari 5. Yes, magari 5 na zawadi zingine kem kabisa.
2019. The Council has been compelled to pay some results for some candidates, which is based on registration data, and the CS will talk more about it. These candidates will be expected to resolve the outstanding issues before their results are released. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to at this point to convey our heartfelt condolences to the family of the 3 examiners who passed away during this exercise. Ms. Veronica Nganga, an examiner in biology paper 1, formerly a teacher in Uchekein Secondary School in Kiambu County. Mr. Bernard Ogebo, an examiner in English paper 1, formerly a teacher in Kokwanyo Secondary School in Homa Bay County. Mrs. Jane Owino Keboko, an examiner in English paper 2, formerly a teacher at St. Mary's Nyamariba Secondary School, Kisumu County, who was involved in an accident on our way home at Ahero Nyakachi, Sub-County, Kisumu. So let me request all of us to stand up for a minute of silence in honor of the departed souls. Thank you very much. May the Lord comfort the families and rest their souls in eternal peace. As I conclude this, I wish to thank all the stakeholders and members of the public for supporting this exercise in various ways. And I also want to thank the media fraternity for the support they have given us, and the feedback they give, and the clarification they seek with us anytime there is an issue. So before I sit down and call the chairman, I would like you to allow me to call one of the delegates to make some comments. Say his name.
Our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Minister, Professor George Magoha, the CEO.
Please introduce yourself since she doesn't want to introduce you.
Okay. Actually, Honorable Minister, I'm Emmanuel Manjombe from Malawi National Examinations Board. And I'm here representing my colleagues from the other examination institutions. Yeah, so the CEO, NEC, Dr. Mese Karoko, Jambo. I'm here, as I've said, representing my colleagues from different national examination councils. And they have already been introduced. I will just quickly mention them again. We have Mary Kajo from Uganda, Paulina Masemola from Umalusi, South Africa, Teresa Kiza from Ekeswa, that's Eswatini, and Mark Kamili. We were invited here in Kenya by NEC to participate and benchmark in awards and standard setting processes. We would like to applaud NEC for the warm welcome they accorded to us right from the time we landed at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport up until now. We are actually enjoying our stay here in Nairobi. So thank you so much for that. Coming to the actual work, the council, NEC, uses criterion referencing method, and they robustly engaged with reports and statistics as per the globally accepted standards. The council also considered all issues that had been reported during marking, and this assisted in the making of evidence-based decisions. These are indeed good quality assurance practices that are in accordance with international principles of awarding and certification. Therefore, in general, we acknowledge the process that was used by NEC has led to valid, reliable, and fair results to our candidature, which is a true reflection of the candidate's achievement of the 2019 KCSE. We would therefore like to express our gratitude for NEC for inviting us to this very important exercise as we continue to share experiences and learn from each other. Without wasting much of our time, this is not our function. I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Let me take this opportunity to invite the chairman of the council, Dr. John Onsati, to make his remarks. Welcome, Chair.
The Cabinet Secretary, Professor George Magoha, the Principal Secretary, State Department of Early Learning and Basic Education, Dr. Belio Kipsang, NEC Council members, who will introduce in a short while, the Acting CEO NEC, Dr. Mercy Karogo, the Teacher Service Commission Secretary, Dr. Nancy Macharia, the Director, Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, Dr. Juan Julius, the Director General, State Department of Education, Mr. Elias Abdi, the Directors of Ministry of Education, the Regional Directors of Education, the Regional Directors of TSE, delegates from foreign examination boards in Africa, representatives of educational institutions, the teacher union representatives, the center organizers, the media fraternity, staff of Kenya National Examinations Council, all our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the Governing Council of NEC, I wish to welcome you for the release of the 2019 KCSE examinations. Before I proceed further with my remarks, allow me to introduce members of the Governing Council of NEC. I'm going to ask you to stand. Dr. Belio, please stand. And you just raise your hand after that. Dr. Belio Kipsang, thank you. Dr. Nancy Macharia, thank you. Dr. Julius Juan, thank you. Ms. Rosemary Saina, thank you. Ms. Dorothy Kimeu, Colonel Retired Leonard Owambo, thank you. Mr. Martin Okio, Dr. Mary Gaturu, Dr. Karen Odhiambo, Dr. Spotter Fred, and last but not least, Dr. Mercy Karogo. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the Council takes cognizance of the fact that assessment is one of the critical processes in the learning cycle. It is important to note that the examination was being administered for the 31st time since its inception in 1989 and being administered also for the 4th time since the reforms in 2016. Learners undergo evaluation to assess the extent to which learning has taken place. And for assessment to be meaningful, it must be valid and reliable. The Council, therefore, worked tirelessly throughout the year to ensure the credibility of the entire process. I wish to mention that the field administration of the examinations was not without challenges. Heavy rains were experienced in most of the parts of the country, which posed a serious logistic challenge in the distribution of examination materials, but we overcame. To this end, I appreciate the key players who supported NEC to ensure effective administration of the 2019 examinations. Starting with our Cabinet Secretary, Professor CS Magoha, who gave direction towards the success of the whole exercise at every stage. Please give him a hearty clap. Thank you very much. The Ministry of Interior and the Coordination of National Governments, the Ministry of ICT, semi-autonomous government agencies, associations, and unions. I also wish to register appreciation to principals who are the center managers, supervisors, invigilators, regional and county officers of education and the TSC, deputy county commissioners, and sub-county directors of education. The security officers at regional, county, and sub-county levels played a key role in the success of the exams, and members of the public, who all demonstrated their dedication, patriotism, resilience throughout the examination period. There were a few isolated incidents of individuals who attempted to abet examination malpractices, but I can confidently report that all measures possible were instituted to preserve the integrity of our examinations. I wish to caution the few individuals whose aim is to compromise the integrity of examinations by abetting malpractices that this will not be tolerated. All those who are found culpable shall be dealt with firmly according to the law. As I conclude, I wish to draw the attention of all parents, guardians, candidates, and school administrators on the importance of adhering to the laid down regulations on registration of candidates. This is vital so as to ensure that accurate data on the candidates is captured, making internal processes more effective and less time-consuming. With those remarks, I wish all the 2019 KCSE examination candidates success in their future endeavors. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Let me welcome the CEO Teacher Service Commission to make her remarks.
The CS, the PS, the NEC chair, and my colleague members of the council, the CEO NEC, delegates from other exam boards, colleagues from the education sector, all our esteemed stakeholders. I am humbled to stand here before you here today on behalf of the Commission to say a big thank you to our teachers for a wonderful job well done and executed this year in 2019. I'm very proud of our teachers. The high levels of discipline and dedication to duty by the Kenyan teacher cannot be taken for granted by the TSC and indeed all Kenyans. Indeed, some of these efforts have been the reason our country now is now holding the title of being home to the best world teacher, Peter Tabich, and the African Union Continental Teacher Awardee, Eric Adeba. Let's appreciate those teachers. I commend the teachers too for their hard work in preparing the 2019 class ahead of the KCSE results, which we are here to celebrate today. Let us all, Waziri, please appreciate these teachers in a big way. Allow me. These teachers are made up the bulk of the personnel that was overseeing the exams. These are our center managers, some of whom I'm very proud to see here today, class teachers, supervisors, and invigilators. You can be sure that the Commission doesn't take you for granted. On December 2nd, 2019, the Ministry of Education placed all the 2019 KCPE class in secondary schools. I have spoken to the Kesha leadership, which has assured me that schools are adequately prepared to cope with the new students. I wish, therefore, to also assure our teachers that the Commission will post 10,000 intern teachers by January to your schools to ease the shortage existing in the schools, since this is in line with the government initiative of 100% transition. This will also obviously go hand in hand with the routine teacher replacements for those leaving due to natural attrition, just to ensure that students get teachers whenever they need them. As promised, the Commission has this week started a massive training exercise for 1,320 teachers in preparation for the CBE Grade 4 rollout in January. This number includes, for the first time, the training of 7,000 SNE teachers, and we also have in this number 18,000 teachers from private schools. All the others are from our public schools. I wish to assure the country that by the end of the exercise, the country will have trained 228,000 teachers on CBC, and this means we have a critical mass of staff who will deliver the curriculum. Overall, in this year's national exams, we recorded the least number of reported cases of teachers accused of engaging in irregularities. I can therefore confidently say that the majority of our teachers are now conversant with the regulations governing the conduct of examinations and are therefore determined to carry out the process with utmost professionalism. And so as I stand here, I have not received any case of teachers who are involved in malpractice, and we shall deal with any case after NEC does the investigations, and they are minimal. I wish to caution proprietors of private schools against recruiting staff who are not registered with the TSC. Indeed, most of the cases of irregularities we are recording now affect private schools. I appeal to the Ministry of Education to take firm action against proprietors of private schools that flout NEC regulation, examination guidelines, and employ teachers who are not registered with Teacher Service Commission. Unlike previous years, I wish to state that 2019 recorded the smallest number of indiscipline cases in the second term in our schools compared to previous years. I once again want to commend school principals for putting in place measures to ensure high standards of discipline that were maintained in these schools. Please do even better next year. As I conclude my remarks, I want to say that TSC recognizes all the good work that has been done by teachers in the examination exercise and upholding discipline in second term, and the TSC will be rewarding these teachers who have performed exemplarily using the policy on rewards and sanctions. As I come to the tail end, I want to conclude by wishing all teachers of Kenya, the 2019 KCSE class, and indeed all parents and guardians a Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous 2020. Thank you.
Let me now invite our Principal Secretary to make his remarks and take the program to the next level.
Thank you very much, the CEO, the Cabinet Secretary for Education, Professor George Magoha, Chair, CEO and Council members, Kenya National Examination Council, the CEO, Teacher Service Commission, my colleagues from the Ministry of Education and Teacher Service Commission, staff of this institution, our key stakeholders, our visitors from other examination boards, colleagues, teachers, and principals who are here, our media, good afternoon. Welcome this afternoon to this very important function that is of critical essence to our children, our parents, and all of us today. And it's exactly a month today since we were here again to release the examinations for KCPE, and therefore it is important that we all thank ourselves for the good work that has been done. So once again, I would want to thank all of us who participated in this particular exercise, our multi-agency team, our media brothers and sisters who are able to report all that we were doing, our principals and center managers. You know, the real heroes and heroines in this particular exercise, where the rubber meets the road, are our teachers and more so the principals. They were able to wake up every morning to go to the container, come back in the afternoon to return the scripts, and to prepare our children for these particular examinations. So once again, our teachers, as the CEO Teacher Service Commission has already said, we celebrate you because you are our best and you are the people who take care of our future. Because the more we invest in education, the more we require people to take care of these children, and usually that particular burden and responsibility is given to our teachers. I would want to congratulate our candidates as we release the examinations this year. I would want to urge all of us that let's celebrate these young people. You know, when they were going into the examinations, we told them to give us their best. And as we release the results today, we are releasing their best. Whatever that best is, let's celebrate it, because they have given us their best. And we had urged them and encouraged them to give us their best. So each one of them has given us their best. Whatever it is, the grade that they will get, let's celebrate them. I would want also to assure our principals, both in the primary schools and in the secondary schools, that we are already engaging well with our colleagues at the National Treasury so that we shall be able to release the capitation at the right time. The capitation will be including those ones of our 1,075,000 candidates who did their KCPE and who will be transiting to our secondary schools. We would want to assure parents that all the necessary resources that these kids will require in Form 1 is already available, including books and any other resource that they will require. You know, mine was to welcome the Cabinet Secretary, and I would not want to preempt my boss. You know, my duty is not to go beyond that particular point. I would want at this juncture to lessen the anxiety of our young people and our parents by amply inviting the Cabinet Secretary for Education to be able to release our results for our candidates 2019. Karibu Waziri.
God is good, and all the time. What a wonderful day that He has allowed us to be alive today to witness the release of these examinations to our children and grandchildren. Colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that I'm extremely... Do I need this thing? I'm extremely excited to welcome all of you to this important ceremony meant for the release of KCSE examinations results. We promise to conclude this process before Christmas, and by the grace of God, we have done so. But I want to hasten to add that the success of this process has involved a multi-agency team, basically commanded by none other than His Excellency the President, who has been very keen on the processes and has made available everything that we have wanted as a ministry and as a governing council. So I want to appreciate the education professionals, the teachers. I must also recognize their commitment, and other government agencies, without which we would not have done this. I want to appreciate those people who manned our containers and centers, who some of whom did not even sleep. The people at the command and control centers, both at the Ministry of Interior and in this ministry. This multi-sectoral approach has now reached and peaked at the end of the 4th year. You will remember that in 2016 we started a journey, and as I release the results, you will see that the government, headed by His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, is extremely serious about education sectoral reforms. Having said so, we should also be proud that our children, you will see that this year they have done better than last year, and like that as you go backwards, which means we have sanitized them. The issue of exam leakage before exam is past tense, and if you took part in the process, you know that we are now dealing with early exposure, which we are doing very well. As proof that our reforms are coming of age today, I will be releasing results that show marked improvement compared to those of the last 3 years. I do not want to say that this is the 4th year and therefore the last of the bad classes. I think if anybody has been guilty, it is not the child, it is we the parents that have been guilty in this process by confusing the children. And I want to put it to you that this year, I think we confused the children a bit less, so they were able to do better. This is indeed a confirmation that our teachers are now preparing candidates better, and that the learners themselves can now engage in studies knowing that the field is level, and I would like to thank everybody else that is involved in this process. I can therefore state from the onset that the KCSE has witnessed no iota of leakage, examination leakage. But you will allow me, ladies and gentlemen, because this is my last address to you this year, that you can peep into what we are going to do next year, and I want to promise I'm not going to keep you waiting for too long. There are some important sectoral issues, and the very first one is the competency-based curriculum. I wish to very proudly state that we are prepared to roll out the grade 4 of the competency-based curriculum come January the 13th of next year. We have printed the books, we have distributed them. I think we have distributed to about 97% of the counties, and the other 3% has been because of the weather conditions. And I want to assure this nation that within the next week or so, we shall have delivered books to all the schools. And as usual, I've gone round and I've confirmed that the books are in schools. So that is one. The CEO Teachers Service Commission has affirmed to you that as we speak, we are training additional teachers, specifically for grade 4 rollouts. And I want to, not to plead, but just to encourage everybody that as we move into this journey, which nobody says is going to be easy, that you help us to fill the glass rather than removing some water from that glass with some straws. So if you have issues, we must move on. If you have issues, let us move together to ensure that this Form 4 rollout shall succeed. And I want to assure you that since I believe in God and I believe in effort, and I, on your behalf, we have the energy, and I think God is on our side. So who the hell do you think you are that you will make sure this thing does not work? It is going to work. My advice is that we should move to the winning side. For sustainable capacity development, teachers under the CBC, we have trained quite a number, like I've told you. But going further, you are aware that last year we stopped the P3 training, and I've been told that the curriculum is ready. The CBC curriculum is ready, and that we are going to admit sometime next year the first cohort of teachers who shall be taught only how to teach the CBC curriculum. At the August National Reforms Conference, His Excellency the President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta pronounced that there will be no examinations in grade 6. To further provide directions on transition of the first CBC cohort from primary to junior secondary in the year 2023, I wish to announce that the task force that I set to advise me on the curriculum reforms is in the process of finalizing regulations and guidelines on the establishment of institutions under the basic education framework. You have absolutely no cause to worry, because the said proposed regulations and guidelines shall be subjected to public participation before gazettement. Part of the proposal that we will expect Kenyans to dialogue on will be a recommendation that the ministry establish a transition committee at national and sub-county levels. Term of reference for the committees will be put in place to ensure the 100% transition of learners from primary to junior secondary school in 2023. And even though I shall not be there, the system, whoever takes over from me, shall ensure that transition takes place. Finally, fellow Kenyans, I wish to assure you that the CBC will be anchored on evidence-based decisions. As a result, the task force on curriculum reforms is recommending to set up a watertight monitoring and evaluation system during 2020. This government's 100% transition policy, we are from January 2020 embarking on another campaign to enroll all candidates who sat these examinations as was done, who sat KCP as was done last year. And I would want to encourage, without prejudice, all, even though the girl child is already stronger, but they are receptacles, and that becomes a problem. So any female child who is a learner, who is pregnant, or who was blessed with a child, must come back to school. And in this regard, we are not going to mince words. We shall work together with the Ministry of Interior to ensure that the girls are brought back to school. We are also sending a very stern warning to some areas of this country who still have this habit of marrying small children, female children, that we shall come and get your wife away from you and take her back to school. That is what the government wants, and it shall be done. And I think it is fair. You can't marry somebody who doesn't know what is right or wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to announce that the applicants for the 9,000 odd Ministry of Education scholarships has gone through. We have 110 sub-counties which were selected on the basis of ability to survive there, and 15 urban shanties, if you want. For example, Kibera, Mathare, and what have you. Applications for these scholarships have now been done. I want to give you my word that I have no kind word for any thief at all. And that the reason I enjoy my work is that poor Kenyan child in the gutter. So we want to identify the children in the gutter who have passed the exam and required to go to high school. So anybody who has any funny ideas or giving us false information, remember that I manage by going to physically verify at random. So if we catch you, the choice will have been yours. So encourage all the poor children in those shanties who will have applied and are not taken to come directly to Jogo. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't get to me. Let's say you are a destitute, you come from Kibera or from wherever, and you are denied a scholarship. Then I will go and check who is it that got a scholarship in Kibera and you didn't get. Do you get the point? I don't want to waste too much time, but I just wanted to say something about NEMIS. I am not a politician and I have no desire to be one. By the grace of God, I am a technocrat. The weakness I have is that I'm just a worker. So keep politics out of my work, because I have no sympathies for people who try to politicize what I'm doing. NEMIS is here to stay. And as a matter of fact, at the time some busybodies were saying that we have cancelled NEMIS, we were actually strengthening NEMIS. And I want to announce to you today that we have successfully upgraded NEMIS on a 10G card. I have no apologies to make to anybody. And as we move along, I have been given the powers by the president. I shall call for any data that I need in order to evaluate and check at any time that I want, so that I can confirm that my officers are doing what they have to do. And you, as members of the Fourth Estate, should be fair, because those children also belong to you. Let me leave it there, because come January, we as government want capitation to go to human beings who have names and numbers. You have to get this very clearly, so that we don't use aggregate numbers. And so the politicians should keep off me, because none of them gave me the job. I was given the job by one person. And when he is dissatisfied with me, then I will be happy to go. But for now, I have his full backing and I shall deliver. That's the message I want to give you. I know you are waiting for Edwafia. I want to say this. In high school, we are providing Edwafia. We have issues with the NEMIS that we are still dealing with as I speak. Can the outlets ensure that if the headmaster has confirmed that the child is a student, is a learner in the school, don't use the excuse that the child is not in NEMIS. It is not your child. The child has to be treated. So from now on, we are going to be using bodies. It is easier to count bodies. Are we together? But you don't deny a sick child and say, oh, this child is not in NEMIS. It is not the child's business to be in NEMIS. We are the ones to be sure that the child is there. Well, very quickly, admission to TVET. The only thing I want to state here is that I am pleading with our people to change their mindset. You get education because you want to feed your family, your wife and child, and your extended family. You don't get education to keep a certificate, isn't it? It is honorable to join TVET and come out and provide service to the people. Now you ask yourself, what services do Kenyans need? And you will find they are basically in the TVET subsector. So I would like the children who have not been lucky to go to university to get sometimes a useless piece of paper as a degree to embrace TVET and go to the colleges because they are there and there are tutors there. That's all I would want to say. And I will not say anything more. So you can see my year will be quite full. During this year, we had 667,222 candidates who sat for the examination. And 51% of them were male, 49 female. A total of 17 counties had more females than males. And they are like as follows: Meru, Vihiga, Kiambu, Elgeyo Marakwet, Nyandarua, Tharaka Nithi, even Kisumu. Muranga, Kitui, Taita Taveta, Makueni, Kirinyaga, Kakamega, Kwale, and Nandi counties. The examination was taken in 10,287 centers across the country, compared to 10,078 centers last year. With regards to special needs candidates, these candidates have a very special place in the heart of the President. We had 1,672 of them, and only 1,499 sat for the examination. The majority of the special needs were physically impaired, and I will not rush to give you their results because I have to wait until subject to performance of the 2018 examination. In the 2019 examination, 16 subjects recorded significant improvement. 11 recorded significant decline. There was no significant change in about 3 of them. I particularly wish to mention English, Kiswahili, chemistry, biology, and physics as some of the critical subjects where performance significantly increased this year. Performance by gender, and females performed much better than males in the following subjects: English, Swahili, CRE, Home Science, Art and Design, German, and Kenya Sign Language. Overall grade achievement. The number of candidates attaining the highest overall grade of mean A plane, rose to 627, up from 315 of last year. Similarly, the number of candidates with the mean grade of A- shot to 5,796 compared to 3,418 of last year. Overall, the number of candidates with minimum university entry qualifications, mean grade C+ and above, shot to 125,746 as compared to 90,377 last year. This analysis, ladies and gentlemen, explains why I started by asking Kenyans to believe in the reforms that have been put in place by the government of His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta in the education sector. that the overall performance of candidates has been increasing since we started reforming the system is a clear indication that the country is on the right track towards self-redemption. Most improved candidates and schools. And perhaps here, ladies and gentlemen, we as parents have failed. Because I remember a candidate had 195 marks and went and committed suicide. Another one had 320, and the parent must have been extremely stupid, because you don't tell somebody with 320 to go and repeat. That one also committed suicide. I want to tell you that on the contrary, we have analyzed children who scored below 200. And I will start with them because they are, I think, the heroes of today. Are we together? Our analysis shows that a score as little as 177 did extremely well and scored, let me just read some of them for you so that I don't waste your time, because you are waiting for the other things. These are our heroes, and this is the President's wish that we celebrate them. The first one is called Kinywa Milka Wanjiro. Kinywa Milka Wanjiro got a paltry 179 at KCPE and went to Gadara Secondary School. It's a sub-county school. And she has scored a B-. The next one is Munyoki Mwikali, who scored 199, went to Mama Malia Secondary School, wherever that one is. And she has also scored a B-. I will read all of it. We just sampled a few. The third one is Sharon Chepkoech, who scored 183 and went to Saire Secondary School. I don't know where that one is, but she has scored a C+. The next one is Mbogwa Masharia, went to Kiamba Mixed Secondary School, which is a sub-county school. She's a proud owner of a C+. I will read two more because there are quite a number. Then the next one is Joseph Mwangi, who had 193, went to Mukui Secondary School, a sub-county school, and also managed the C+. And maybe one or two more. Mureti Timothy had 194 marks, went to Kirindara Mixed Sub-County School, has managed the C+. So there are many, many more. The reason I've taken time to do all this is to remove the myth that if you get marks which are below 300, then you are condemned. Who has told you that you can't get what you want? You have seen for yourself that we should go back and encourage those children. There has also been a rush to a few national schools, which to me looks crazy, because all schools are producing good marks. So can we encourage those children with marks below 200 and even below to go to school and study without prejudice, and they will deliver themselves. Maybe one last one, Muchai Gache. This one is not a very good example because it's 277 and he has an A-. Muchai Gache from Nyakiambi Secondary School. He has an A-, and many others. Let's leave the others. So we celebrate those ones first, starting from bottom, going up. Sendio? And make sure you go to their schools and dance with them. Go to their families and dance with them. Because there is this feeling that unless you go to the 10 or 20 top schools, then you are finished. It is a myth. Tuko pamoja? This trend should give hope to the low KCP performers that they have a chance to do much better. You don't have to be in a national school. You don't have to be in a county school. You don't even have to be in a county school. All these children performed as day scholars. So that message should sink. And don't ever tell your child that you are a failure. Who has told you that your child is a failure? You are the failure because you are failing to advise your child. Now, the top 10 candidates in 2019 KC exams are the number 1, Buluma Wabuko Tony, Kapsabet Boys, with a score of 87, a performance index of 87.159, followed by Barasa Marian Jerry of Kenya High School, 87087. I will read all the 10 of them. Followed by Aboge David Odhiambo, Kapsabet Boys, score of 87.080. Anthony Oworo Cheng, Naseno, score of 87.000. Number 5, Madhuri Natasha Wawira, Kenya High School, 86.961. Number 6, Kizito Ezra Sikuta, Moi High School, Kabarak, with a performance index of 86.960. Number 7, Longali Chemengat, Alliance Girls High School, 86.924. Number 8, Ndadi Helen Joki, Kenya High School, 86.914. Number 9, CLA Chelangat Eileen, Moi Forces Academy, Lanet, 86.900. And finally, number 10, Laura Chelangat Ruto from St. Bridget Kiminini, 86.53. 10 overall under 16. This is again the president's wish. Because I made a mistake, I should have started with them. These are the underage children who are, some are 15 years and some are 16. The top one, Kizito Ezra Sikuta. So this child is underage. Jesus Christ. Moi High School, Kabarak. She's 16 years. She's 16 years. You can imagine. Number 2, Chepkemoi Kelin, Moi T, 85.56. Then the third one, Njuguna Winnie Wanjiko, Kenya High School, 84.999. That is also 16 years. Number 4, Kore Ruto Duncan, Maranda High School, 84.753. I didn't know somebody can survive in Maranda with that age. Number 5, Wambugu Tracy, Mary Hill Girls, 84.473. Number 6, Maina Faith Njoki, St. Mary's Igoji, 83.465. Number 7, Marion Effie Naikena, Kipsigis Girls, 83.443. Number 8, Mwema Moses Kayama, Alliance High School, 83.177. Number 9, Iran Joshua Saitoti, Nyeri Baptist, 82.6. And the last one is Mugo Stacy Nelima, Pangani Girls High School, 82.477. The reason we went to look at the underage children is that I want to challenge the teachers to think of how we can develop this, because the geniuses will come from inside here. If some of them are as young as 15 years, and they are beating old people. 10 overall special needs children. The first one is Shamala M. Collins, Aquinas High School. He has an A-. Second one is Hash Baratish, Namajanja High School, also A-. Fourth one is Kiosi Andrew, SA High School for the Blind, also A-. Fourth one is Roy Kiprotich, Tengecha Boys High School, A-. Fifth one is Mora James, Mary Hill, B+. Sixth one is Carissa Lucas Shauri, Kisi High School, B+. 7, Mwangi Evelyn, Mahiga Girls, B+. 8, Collins Kiama, Nanyuki High School, B+. 9, Kankano Simeon, Ilkerin Secondary School, B+. And 10, Wamuhu S. Kiragu, Njumbi High School, B+. Ladies and gentlemen, now this is what the media likes, but the top 10 overall schools in 2019 in terms of A-plane. Number 1, Kenya High School, 76. Kapsabet Boys High School, 49. Alliance High School, 48. Mui Kabarak, 30. Alliance Girls, 27. Mary Hill Girls, 25. Maseno School, 23. The Nairobi School, 23. Mangu High School, 23. And Moi Girls School, Eldoret, 21. Examination irregularities. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased our enhanced measures on fighting examination cheating in our school has succeeded to a very high measure of success. I wish to state without any fear of contradiction that no exam leaked, but we had a few people who are tempted, like the issue of cell phones. We got about 100 cell phones. And the beauty of it is that we got them before they were used for anything else. And just in case I forget, there is a junior chief. I want my handlers to remind me the name of that chief in Eastleigh so that I can ask the president to honor her. The one who removed 35 cell phones in Eastleigh. You people remember that episode? We must celebrate heroines and heroes. We should also celebrate the 2 policemen. Somebody should remind me to write to my brother Matiangi that those 2 constables should be promoted for being loyal and trustworthy and identifying the 10 people who are impersonating somewhere in Kisii. Otherwise, in terms of irregularities, we have basically cancelled 1,309 candidates' results who are involved in various forms of cheating during the examination process. This includes being found with mobile phones, carrying unauthorized materials to examination room, and it's very strange. I wish I brought one of them. A child who can create a book with very small writing, that's a very intelligent child. Why do you waste energy creating the book instead of revising it? The number of cases of irregularities has reduced, as you will remember, because last year we had 4,519. And this year we just have 1,300 or so. And therefore, we wish to continue to encourage 1,300 out of 699,000 is not statistically significant. But nevertheless, for us, every child is a child. And our job is going to be to continue to work on those children, to teach them. But there is a price to pay, to say the truth. Just to give you a quick run through, last year we had cases of collusion last year were 4,355. This year it reduced to 1,158. Cell phones have increased. Cases of impersonation have also increased. Now, accessing candidates should collect their results from their respective examination centers. The individual candidates can also access their results by sending. I want to confirm that we are ready to go without any problem. You are ready to go? By sending the candidate's full index number, 11 digits in brackets, followed by the initials KCSE, through a short message SMS to 200, which means 20076, immediately after the event, not during, after. Principals can download and print the online result slips for candidates in their schools and authenticate them before they are released to parents and guardians. Before I finish, my challenge as the first among equals amongst you, that's, I would want every child that is going to get a result, and I'm addressing the parents, you used your own blood to produce the child. By the grace of God, there's many others who can't. Whatever your child brings home should be celebrated. Are we together on this one? If I come home with 150, who knows? I might be the next doctor. It is true. So all this nonsense that you have done, what you have failed me, go and repeat, think about it twice before you condemn your child. And for the children, to the children themselves, those who have worked with me and know me know that I am proud of what I am and what I have. And it is not money. People who have money are very poor. Me, I'm very rich. Are we together? So can we ensure that the children receive their results and remain rich because what they have is bigger than money? The hope and the fact that God has given you life, you look for tomorrow, and what is coming tomorrow only God knows. It is now, ladies and gentlemen, my most humble duty and privilege to declare 2019 KCSE examination results officially released. I wish all the candidates success in whatever they do in their lives, and I want to add that everything that you do in life is important. Let nobody tell you that unless you get a job where you are putting on a tie and a suit like me, then you are a failure. It is the person who thinks you are a failure that is a failure. Are we together? Some of them will be engaged in many other things, and be proud of what you are. Be very, very proud of what you are in life, as long as you are adding value to somebody else, and as long as you are able to look after yourself and your family. Lastly, I wish all the parents and all the other Kenyans a Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year 2020, and let us hope that as you celebrate Christmas, leave enough money for the school fees of your children. Thank you. I'm told I have not received the results. Come this way. I'm a right-handed person.
Oh, right-handed.
I'm right-handed.
I'll present you the chairman and chairman will have pass it to the cabinet secretary. Before we continue, we'd like to tell the RCs that they'll go home with the printouts of the results. All regional coordinators of education will carry the printouts with them for their respective regions. I hope they have gotten it. I would like to draw your attention to the fact that all regional coordinators will carry along with them the printout of the results of the examinations as they go back to their regions.
The Cabinet Secretary, we wish to take just 1 minute of your time to allow Mrs. Imelda Baraza to move the vote of thanks. Then immediately after that, I'll ask Mohamed Mutanga to close it with a prayer, a short prayer.
Thank you very much, our Master of Ceremony. Our chief guest, Professor George Magoha, the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Education, our most valued invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion on behalf of the entire fraternity of the Kenya National Examinations Council. I'll begin off with a quote from Dalai Lama that says, "The roots of all goodness lie in the soil of appreciation." We begin off by thanking God for granting us life and an opportunity to serve and witness the release of the 2019 KCSE results. A big thank you to you, our Cabinet Secretary, for the commitment, support, and the straight talk that you have given us today and ensuring that we have had successful.
Asante sana. Haya yalikuwa matokeo ya mtihani wa kitaifa wa KCSE mwaka 2019 ambayo yametolewa rasmi na Waziri wa Elimu Profesa George Magoha. Kuna baadhi ya uchanganuzi ambao tumeweza kusikia na baadhi ya wanafunzi ambao wamefanya vyema, huku mwanafunzi wa kwanza akiwa ni Bulama Anthony ambaye aliweza kupata alama ya A ya pointi kijana huyu alikuwa kutoka kwa shule ya Kapsabet Boys na pia kunaye Baraza Njeri.